All right. Test.
Test.
Test. Test.
They sure work hard, don't they, Bonnie?
Yeah? I hate to see them work so hard.
Yeah, me too. Let's go around back where we can't see them.
Gee, we ought to do something, Fred.
Okay? How's about taking a nap?
I got a better idea. Let's take a Winston break.
That's it! Winston is the one filter cigarette that delivers flavor 20 times a pack. Winston's got that filter blend.
Yeah, Fred. Filter blend makes the big taste difference, and only Winston has it up front where it counts. Here, ahead of the pure white filter. Winston packs rich tobaccos specially selected and specially processed for good flavor in filter smoking.
Yeah, Bonnie, Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should.
The Flintstones has been brought to you by Winston, America's best-selling, best-tasting filter cigarette.
Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
Four, three, two.
And welcome back to segment number 3 of Convincing Idiots. I am Millennial Nick, along with Gen X Brian and Zennial Dean, and this fella down here.
Snidely Whiplash.
Snidely Whiplash, there you go. Today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to talk about love. Valentine's Day is upon us. And in the spirit
Love
of
is
love, we would like to talk about some of our
Do I
all-time
have to do that?
favorite. No, you don't. It's just me and Brian showing love.
No,
Stop.
I got
It's
it.
ours.
Look, you did
No.
it for me,
Me
too.
and Brian do it for each other, not you.
Yeah, I know you
And,
do. Smell your fingers all the time.
Anyway, in the spirit of smelling fingers and Valentine's Day, we're going to discuss some of our favorite fictional couples in media. So, Dean,
It can't be
why don't
because
since
your two love is real.
well, that's true. Dean, why don't since you're the third man out, the third wheel, why don't you start and tell us one of your favorite fictional couples?
And again, it can't be me and your mom because that's real fucking good.
That shit's
All right,
real.
So, real. All right, number one on my list. I'm going to go with the Flintstones, but not who you think. I'm going the beautiful Barney and Betty.
Mm.
Rubble. Those two get people want to overlook them and go
Rubble
with,
in their parts together. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. You know that little guy. You know he's put the shocker in there. You know he knows what he's doing. So yeah, she was a smoke show. He's probably packing like a goddamn hog.
Yeah.
Just as tall as his wine. It's fucking girth for days.
Yeah. Goddamn Pringle can up in that bitch. So if you're looking like I took my list and I judged on who would I want to see in a sex tape, and number one on my list is absolutely Betty and Barney Rubble.
Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You know, I will add there on a serious note, by the way. So,
There is nothing not serious about the conversation that was just had, Brian.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, but as you guys know, I am an adopted child, and on the Flintstones, Barney and Betty adopted a child. So Bam Bam, as you may or may not remember,
I did not know. I did not realize that
Yes.
he was adopted. Oh,
he
okay.
was an adopted child on the show, and it was sort of a thing where, it's a cartoon. They weren't getting into why are they adopting a child, but
Sure.
they had some excitement and struggles to adopt him.
Fred,
and
Betty's
stuff.
infertile, so we have to adopt.
No, but as an adopted
Hey,
kid,
Fred,
it
I'm
was
shooting
cool.
blanks out of my Pringles can.
Whatever,
I've got no
man.
choice.
But it was
Got
cool
all
to
this bang
see.
and no buck, you know what I mean? Hey.
Pulls down his pants. It's a living.
Anyway, that was cool.
Sorry.
That is very nice,
All right.
Brian.
No, we
Yeah.
just took
Very
Brian's sweet
lovely
ass sentiment
sentiment.
and ruined it with
Well-
with Pringle can dick jokes.
That's
Look at
right.
us.
I'm going next. I'm going to continue the trend of the Flintstones. One of my favorites is Fred and Wilma Flintstone.
There we go.
I used to watch the Flintstones a ton as a kid growing up on reruns. As you may or may not know, it was I know you guys know, but it was when Flintstones was on television, it was a prime time show. It was made for an adult audience originally, so it sort of had that honeymooners theme to it. And if I'm not mistaken,
Less
Go ahead.
ideals towards spousal abuse.
but definitely some of the earlier episodes, especially, had some more of adult humor type jokes and all that. But if I'm not mistaken, the first, Fred and Wilma were depicted on television as a married couple doing something that I don't believe any other couple was shown on television doing until the Flintstones, if I'm not mistaken.
Cuckolding.
Nope. One of the first married
That
couples
brontosaurus
on
is really
television.
giving it to her.
It's a live.
One of the first married couples to be depicted sleeping in the same bed on television was Fred and Wilma.
Oh, risque.
If you think back to some of the old black and white sitcoms and all that, like Bewitched, etc., separate beds.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
Which
true.
is strange. Which is strange. It would never happen in real life. Maybe, I don't know, but normally, maybe some couples. But anyway, Fred and Wilma slept in the same bed.
That's actually how Megan and I's bedroom is set up. Is two separate beds, and then once a month we push them together.
Mhm.
Unlike Fred, that's actually how he landed Wilma. Not a lot of people know this, but she went to the bowling alley and he watched him put his 3 fingers in, and then on his twinkle toes, ding 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 ding, ding, and just rocked that ball down the lane. And she fainted, and she's like, "Next, please."
Nick, what do you got?
I would like to bring a very lovely couple to the table. Very pure, very wonderful couple. They got together when they were just kids, and I'm going to go with Corey and Topanga from Boy Meets World, the popular 90s sitcom. You know what? Corey
They're on my
fell in love
list.
with Topanga almost immediately
Not
when
true.
they were in middle school. Well, yeah, they kind of got off.
She was her first few episodes, her first season. She was the annoying, nerdy girl.
She was the know-it-all, and there was that
Right, and
contentious
then
kind
the
of,
next season they're like, okay, let's change her character and make it.
But okay, so puberty hits. Some of the
You
odd
notice the nerdy
feelings
girl. You're like,
you
whoa.
may be feeling about each other start to change and things like that.
Curls on his head stood straight up.
From a very young age in middle school, and Corey and Topanga, they dated through their school years and through college, end up getting married on the show. It's a nice story. They had their ups and downs. They learned together. They grew together. They grew into adults together. And
The daughter, where she even met this world.
That's right. Yeah, there was a spinoff, wasn't there? On I think Disney Plus or something did or Disney Channel, but
Girl Meets World.
That's right. I think I watched 2 episodes of that when it started, and I was like, nostalgia, and then I didn't care anymore.
And I'm like, that's all I needed to see.
Right, yeah. So, but I have Corey and Topanga, Matthews.
Very
Boy
good.
Meets World. Yeah.
Very good.
Dean,
Well,
got any more cartoon porn on your list there, bud?
That's a different list, so I'm going to stick with this list for right now.
Strikingly similar to this one.
Strikingly similar. I'm going to go with the galaxy's favorite couple, Han Solo and Leia Organa. This galaxy power couple, it changed the course of the universe. Their love, without their love, I don't think the Rebel Alliance would be where it is today. Their love saved all of us, not just the universe, all of us.
Yeah.
Plus, again, with the sex tape thing, who wouldn't want to see Harrison Ford give it to Carrie Fisher?
Sure.
Yep.
Did they now? What? Why didn't that? Why just was the flame too hot to last? Why did it have to burn out? Why didn't they make it?
And the whiny Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
Torn apart.
like a lot of kids that where their parents split up or whatever. Like, oh, I think it was my fault, and it more likely wasn't. This time, no, totally Kylo Ren's fault. You sack of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible.
Yep.
Terrible. Brian.
All right, I'll give you sort of a more modern version of Fred and Wilma Flintstone, Marge and Homer Simpson. How about that? So, not the perfect couple, but definitely love each other. At the end of the day, she really is. Loves her family, saintly woman, like you say, and on the show. And Homer's a dumbass, but at the end of the day, he loves his wife, he loves his family, and that shows through on the series. So, and one of the longest running married couples depicted, matter of fact, the longest running married couple in television history, Marge and Homer Simpson. How about that? So there you go. Yep.
Quite the accomplishment. Goals. Yeah. Congratulations to the Simpsons.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, he gives us hope. He gives us, all of us fat schlubs, hope that we could land such a dime piece like Marge.
Such a tall-haired woman. That's like Marge Simpson.
That's right.
Let's just get up all in that shit.
Yep.
Nick, what do you got next?
Next, I have here's a layup for me. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. Ross and Rachel from Friends.
Sure.
Ross and Rachel, more so than just the whole Ross and Rachel angle, and really when you look at the 10 years of Friends, Ross and Rachel really only dated for like a couple of those seasons, right? He spends the whole first season they're trying to work it out. He kind of likes her, she kind of likes him. They care about each other. They date in the second season, they get together, third season falls apart, whatever. So there's like a couple seasons there where they actually spend dating on again, off again. One has feelings for the other one doesn't, and vice versa through the years. All the while, though, they are trying to find ways to be supportive of one another, and there's this undertone of like really unconditional love that they have for one another throughout the years. Even when they're dating other people, they show moments of really caring and for one another and rooting for one another. There's an episode, for example, where Ross sacrifices, some big speech because Rachel hurt herself and she won't take herself to the hospital, so he sacrifices this big moment for himself. And there's all these different ways where they're looking out for each other over the years, even though they're not together, haven't been together for many years. The love is still there. And not to get too sappy about it, but it's a really nice thing. I mean, Friends is a comedy series, but it's a very serious, kind of look at what a relationship should be. That even if, when you really love someone, and you're not with them, the fact that you still look out for them, you still care for them, even if they, don't get to be yours, you still have that love for them as a person. And the fact that they end up together at the end is very nice. Obviously, they have a child together before they end up for the final time with one another. But every time I watch it, and I just kind of watch different episodes, I'm like, it is a nice little thing that, sure, it's a big crux of the whole storyline of the show all through the years. Ross and Rachel, when are they going to get back together? But it is nice. There's all these little moments. They date many other people. Ross is married multiple other times, but eventually, one of the times to Rachel. But it's nice that they do end up together, and through the years, they're always kind of looking out for one another, still showing love for one another, and then do find their way back to one another in the end. I like that.
Very good. Excellent.
Gotta love lobsters.
Gotta love lobsters, man.
Mm-hmm. Dean, I think you're up next.
I am. Nick's an idiot.
That's okay. That's all right.
I was blinded by love, Dean. Fuck you.
I hope that someday when Nick and you and I share our first kiss, the crowd goes woo. Also, that's my hope.
It might.
My next offering for this love fest is a couple that again, like Ross and Rachel, you see it blooming, but this started as a friendship. They gave it a little more time to build. But the love that they showed that they had for each other through the show was really special and like actual heartwarming and at times and actually they never kind of deviated from the story. But I'm going with
This
Jim
could be
and
a two
Pam.
girls, one cup, isn't it?
No,
Oh.
but Jim and Pam from The Office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's good.
They had like a hiccup towards the end of the series, but they only lasted a couple episodes, and it wasn't even the idea of like they were going to break up. It was just like they had marital issues like anybody else does. But for the most part, it just showed how much they cared for each other, first as friends, and then it was honestly in TV form a beautiful relationship to watch and nice because like a lot of the other ones like Ross and Rachel will break up here, break up there. They have to have their trials and tribulations. This was just kind of the heart of the show. And it was nice to see a couple on TV that didn't have like the tumultuous times.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the Jim and Pam of it all from The Office.
Very good.
Nice.
That's a good one. Well, another.
Now is it Brian's turn?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
So
the reason
you
I showed
gotta
up tonight was to hear Brian speak.
Maybe you just got to learn our names.
Well, as a kid, a lot of the reruns on television were from the 60s, the 60s cartoons, television shows, and all of that. And, as you might remember, so many wholesome couples in the 60s were depicted on television. Fred and Wilma. We talked about, Fred and Barney already and others. And another strange couple, well, maybe one of the strangest married couples probably ever depicted on television, but just loved each other, so sweet and kind all the time, but just both very strange beings. The Munsters. I'm going to give you Herman and Lily Munster. Just every scene of them, clear. Exactly. Herman loved Lily to death, and she was always very a nice motherly figure on the show. At the end of the day, there were two beings that loved each other, even though they were weird. They didn't think they were weird, but the world thought they were weird, but they still loved each other and their family. And that in itself is a nice message out there. So Herman and Lily Munster. Love the Munsters to this day.
I like that.
There you go.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love that.
Nick?
Love you guys also. I'm going to go off the board with this one. Because I love you guys, I would say, are proof that couples or a tripod, as you might call us.
Mm-hmm.
Thruple. I like to call us a thruple.
Or is not bound necessarily to romantic love, except sometimes off camera, whatever. But outside of the box,
I
my
got
next
2 hands and a lot of love, baby.
is a couple, but not in the romantic sense. Sometimes you might say that maybe you love people that you work with. A working relationship in many ways could be like a relationship, and these two gentlemen work together and really through it all truly grew to love one another at many points throughout the show. I'm going to have to go with Walter and Jesse from Breaking Bad. These two showed a lot of love for each other over the years. They certainly were a couple in the space of the drug industry.
Sure.
And definitely you see the ups and downs of their relationship, times of them not trusting one another and going back and forth. There's power struggles and different dynamics in their relationship. But at the end of it all, I I feel like both of them truly, and at various points, really deeply care about the other one, and it's a very realistic look, I think, at like the human relationship element with a friend. And like I said, there's kind of the ups and downs. At times they almost felt like enemies, but ultimately I think that they really cared about each other and loved one another. So I will say Walter and Jesse from Breaking Bad.
That's kind of like Brian and Nick, your guys' relationship a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But Nick doesn't deal with drugs. He deals with hugs, and but it's gotten in the way of his relationship a lot.
Yeah, I'm a hug dealer.
That's right.
Well, I could go to Brian again, but I know I'll get corrected and redirected to Dean. So Dean, you might as well just fucking go.
I will hug the shit out of you. My next one is legitimately one of my favorite couples of television. They're just sweet and adorable and romantic, funny as all get up, and it depicts society today. And I am proud and loving couple, Cam and Mitchell from Modern Family.
Yes,
Yeah.
very good. Very good.
Those two are just two of the funniest damn characters on TV, written well, portrayed fantastically by both. But the couple themselves shows just like what a loving marriage could and should be. I think it's a great depiction of just, marriage, like everyday marriage. Kind of like a Dan and Roseanne, or just what kind of an insight of what real life marriage looks like. So yeah, Cam and Mitchell from Modern Family.
It's a good one.
Great
nice.
choice. Yep. Well, as a kid, this couple came from the world of comics originally, and it really depicted a couple that had a lot of struggles, and it found a way to persevere and remain together. He was broke most of the time, struggling to survive in the comics, but he had a lot of conflict.
I didn't know Dean and Megan were a comic book character before they were our friends. That's crazy.
With this head, you don't think this was a comic book?
That's right. That's right. And she was a well-known model and kind of about town. He was struggling to maintain all that stuff. So I'm going to give you Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson. The Amazing Spider-Man and Mary Jane.
So they call me Peter Peeker.
That's right. That's right. And Nick, they've called Peter Porker, if I'm not mistaken, at times. Yes. No, but in the comics, just a great
Sliderverse.
Yes. That's right. No, but that's Amazing Spider-Man. A very relatable character is that he was just an everyman, struggling to make ends meet. He had this power. Obviously, the whole great power comes great responsibility. So he's out there trying to use his powers for good. Has to deal with an aging aunt, trying to keep up with Mary Jane, her lifestyle, and she's desired by all these people.
You try to keep up with Mary Jane all the time, don't you?
That's right. That's right. Anyway, great fictional couple. I remember as a kid thinking, that's something. I mean, that seemed real to me. Like that's real grown-up type problems that Peter Parker had. It was not relatable when I first started reading it, but as you grow up and he is still a relatable character. I think even in the movies and all that today. So there you go. Nice. Nick, what else you got? Yep.
This one is one that I kind of see happening in the future. Okay. This is one that certainly has kind of been in the works. It's been making its way there for a while, and this is one that I definitely see being the next great love affair. Ladies and gentlemen, it's me and my brand new electric bike from our friends at RPM Bike Shop. That's right. I can see myself today riding off into my electric future with the finest electric bike on the market today from our friends at RPM Bike Shop. That's right. Here's why I see it happening. Okay, I am here in Northeast Ohio. They are in Carrollton, right here in Northeastern Ohio. Right, the logistics work out. I can see myself with a wonderful electric bike, and you might be able to see yourself with one of their wonderful electric bikes. In fact, you can head on over to their website, which is rpmbikeshop.com, see for yourself. You can also go to their Facebook page, just search RPM Bike Shop, or hey, maybe give them a call on the Love Line, 330-808-7792, and perhaps you can find your next great love affair with an electric bike from RPM Bike Shop. That's right. It's a good pick. That's a pro tip
There
for you.
go.
I heard the love affair started when you backed into the handlebar.
That's right. Well, I definitely felt some things. Certainly, my spider senses were tingling. I felt some things that I hadn't felt in a while, and yeah, certainly there was chemistry. Let's just say that. For my next submission, aside from myself and RPM Bike Shop, I was almost going to cheat and say the whole show because there's like a lot of great couples on the show, but if I had to pick out one, I'll go with them. I could have cheated and said basically any married couple from This Is Us. There's so many great examples of unconditional love on that show, but is there any more pure than Jack and Rebecca, their whole love story, the tragic and I mean, honestly, at the beginning they have turbulent times. Like he's a bit of an alcoholic; he needs to get his drinking under control. And there's jealousy issues with her
a complainer.
But ultimately, by all intent and purposes, until he dies tragically in the house fire, they just have a wonderful life raising their 3 kids. And I love the way that show highlights their love and then the way it kind of carries over into the relationships of their children throughout the years.
The ending was beautiful for them.
Bah!
Sorry.
What ending? Wait, don't, because I still haven't finished the last season.
How in the
Dude, we just started rewatching Loki. Okay, we picked Loki back up. All right, it's things are working. They're not linear here. I'm still not done with This Is Us, but beautiful love story. Beautiful love story. Also,
it ends with them both being eaten by a bear. All right, I spoiled it.
Quick shout out to Beth and Randall. Hey. Beth and Randall are a great fucking example of what a couple should be. They support each other. They love each other. It's fantastic.
They blow up in a house explosion in Mars. When they colonized it. You're going to be really surprised by this last season. Fucking writers just stopped giving a shit.
Well, all the same, seasons 1 through 8 of this, or 7 of This Is Us, whatever it was fantastic. But yeah, I've got Jack and Rebecca from This Is Us. Just a lovely little story there. Dean.
All right.
Any shows that you can speak on their couples that you've actually finished?
I'm about to finish on you. The next one I'm going to go with
for the sixth.
Yeah, it did. I'm going to go with. You know what? Here we go. I'm going to go. I've gone to like good pure couples that I've enjoyed their love and enjoyed their affection. I want to put one on my list that is a bit rocky, that has those trials and tribulations that didn't quite start out well, but they had the greatest chemistry, good and bad chemistry, back and forth, even to where it got physical, with slapping each other.
Oh, are you talking about you and me?
God, I hope so. No, I'm talking about Sam Malone and Diane Chambers from Cheers.
Very good.
And they're on my list because the attraction was always there. But I put them on the list of the banter. Like it's that pulling the pigtails, dipping the pigtails in ink type thing, where you like her, so you pick on her. And she liked him, so she picked on him. There was jealousy there when they saw each other with other people. And even up until the final episode of the series. Nick, I don't want to spoil it for you because you've probably never seen it.
I've never heard of Cheers.
Especially while you're doing the show. So I would say, yeah, those two are up there with my favorite couple, given that it was on and off again. But the love was always there, and it was funny and exciting, especially for the time. I think America sitcoms had always seen these couples that were loving and from even then the Cosby Show that showed the perfect marriage, Mary Tyler Moore, Dick Van Dyke, all of these different shows like that. I think Cheers was something different and showed something different, and I think everybody was drawn to it. And so, yep, Sam Malone and Diane Chambers from Cheers.
Yeah, that's a great one. That final scene, Dean, when it's very powerful. It sticks to me even today. Like many of us have had that feel. You're trying to make it with somebody, and it's not really, and then it's like, well, I'm gonna, you're breaking up, but I'll come back, and we'll do this or we'll do that, and I'll come back in 6 months or something like that. And she walks up those stairs, and he just kind of stood there, and
yep.
And he just said, after she closed the door, have a good life, because he knew he was not going to see her again. And it was like, wow, that was just such a powerful moment in that series there with those two. But anyways.
Speaking of not going to see each other again, the two sides of Dean's shirt. Dean, are you wearing a flannel shirt completely open with no undershirt? Is that what's happening right now?
No undershirt, but it's buttoned down here. Okay. It's just the camera is higher, so you're just getting the sexiness that is the chest. Do that?
Okay.
Is that better?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It just looked like it was kind of just open there, and I'm like,
it's always
see you
sitting
there, and
yeah, that light reflection is something else. You get yourself a tan through the video. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give you. Dean already said it. It's an overlap here, but the first power couple in the universe, Han and Leia, is on my list as well. So I remember as a kid, it was like, wow, those two can't possibly get together, and they sure did, and it was pretty amazing in the movie. And of course, Empire Strikes Back when they got together. So that was awesome, great couple. That's it. So there you have it. The first power couple in my youth, Han and Leia.
Absolutely.
My top 5. Yes.
And my final submission here. I've had a lot of ideal couples. Ups and downs, sure, but for the most part, smooth sailing. This couple did not have an ideal relationship in our time viewing their relationship, but through it all, they stuck together. It may have taken him, flying around their home city and rescuing their son from certain death, but it was Liz and Howard from Jingle All the Way. He may not have always been around, but damn it, it was all in the interest of making their sweet, sweet boy happy on Christmas and being dedicated to providing a lovely life for his family. And after it all, damn it, they turned it around. He started focusing on family more, and are just Liz and Howard, just the best through the good times and the bad, through the Turbo Mans and the Boosters. They made it together. Liz and Howard Langston from Jingle All the Way, through the sleazy neighbors, the house fires, the burglaries, the reindeer.
I was rooting for the sleazy neighbor. It's kind of how I watched the movie.
Yeah, so was he.
All right. So let's go through some of our honorable mentions, right, gentlemen?
Sure.
Billy and Marshall from How I Met Your Mother. The next one, real quick, I will go Ariel and Eric, just because, once again, sex tape. Little Mermaid, and that's from.
Okay.
And then
Brian is unenthused.
You telling me you wouldn't watch a Disney Ariel and Eric sex tape? You wouldn't pop that on. You're lying. That's what you're doing.
Pop it on. I've searched it out.
Yeah, sure. That's right.
Everything exists on the internet. We have AI. God damn it.
Yep.
Had animators for even longer.
I have. Oh yeah, here it is. Noah and Allie. If you're not familiar with the two names, they are the two characters from the movie The Notebook.
That's some guy in Brian's girlfriend.
Slow down.
Easy there. No, Noah and Allie from The Notebook.
Oh, okay.
They had their ups and downs, but God damn it, they died holding hands at the same time.
There you go.
So come on, that's true love. Or they just got tired of each other and just died out of exhaustion.
What do you say we just both die simultaneously?
Right.
We can only ask each other what each other want to eat for so long when
Right.
no one answers before we just die. I feel like that's how Robin and I are going to go.
Yeah.
We're just going to be asking each other what we want for dinner, and then we'll just both give up and die together
I
simultaneously.
stopped caring how your day was back in '83. Fuck y'all. So next.
Okay, I have an honorable mention list here. The probably the most passionate couple I can remember. The early from early television. Another strange couple, Gomez and Morticia Adams. How about that? So on the original Adams Family,
I would even put that one even up above Herman and Lily. I mean, the passion was there.
Yes.
Like, I mean, they couldn't keep their hands off of each other.
No, that was early, even the '60s television.
Yeah.
That was definitely a little bit risque.
Kissing
at
up
the
that
time.
arm. Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, they were definitely. They probably incorporated thing. It was a whole thing over there in that house. You know what I mean? So yeah, good stuff. I'm just going to go through a quick, real fast. I also had Cam and Mitch from Modern Family. Sam and Diane also had from Cheers. Pam and Jim, The Office. I had them as well. Ben and Leslie from Parks and Rec.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Very sweet couple. Again, another early couple on television that loved each other and go through a lot of weird and strange things. Samantha and Darren from Bewitched. I remember watching Bewitched often as a kid.
I love that throuple.
Yeah, absolutely. George and Jane Jetson, another early cartoon. George and Wheezy Jefferson, another show I used to love watching, the Jeffersons back in its time.
Talking about a needed sex tape.
Sure. They had a great, they probably had the maid in there, the whole thing, you know. An 80s show watched with my parents I thought was cool. Heart to Heart. That's a retro throwback for you there. Jennifer and Jonathan Hart. I had Ross and Rachel, and also Monica and Chandler, kind of the same for Friends. Okay. Lois Lane, Superman, and Shrek and Fiona from the Shrek movies. And finally, way back television, I used to watch reruns of this as well. Lucy and Ricky, another great depicted married couple on television. There you have it. Nick, what do you got for your honorable mention?
Honorable mentions. This is one that I always enjoyed as a sitcom. Doug and Carrie Heffernan from King of Queens. Similar dynamics, and a super hot wife, and the kind of dumpy guy, whatever. But she had this demeanor where a lot of times she acted very annoyed by him, very whatever. But there were these moments where they showed a lot of love for each other, and I like that. Cartoon couple, Aladdin and Jasmine. Obviously, classes aside, they fell in love with one another, and I thought that was always very nice.
Yeah, they did.
In the spirit of couples that simply couldn't keep their hands off of each other, and I absolutely find hilarious through the years, another Friends one, Jack and Judy Geller. I love how in love they are with each other, even as they're older, and they're constantly finding, and messing around, and anniversary parties, and in the bathroom. It's just, I love how, always all over each other they were throughout the years. It was kind of cool. And another one, just a good, supportive couple through thick and thin, a very pure couple on both sides, really. Clark and Ellen Griswold. Just two pure, sweet people that kind of stick by each other through thick and thin. So, those are my honorable mentions.
Very good.
Very good. I have one more couple, guys, that when they come together, creates magic.
I may have witnessed this happening tonight.
Yes.
And coming together. Magic. They create as well. Yeah.
Art. A little bit of pain. A beautiful pain, if I may say. A tattoo needle.
Dr. Smith and Will Robin?
No, absolutely not.
Can't edit that one out. It's in the middle of an ad read. Gotta get
we're gonna call 911 here in just a moment here. A tattoo needle and Skin is what I was referring to as another dynamic
I was so
couple.
close.
But this is a real couple, and if you want to experience this real dynamic couple and create your own magic and experience your own art forever, then contact our friends at Golden Heart Tattoo. Find them on Facebook at Golden Heart Norton, Norton. This might be changing soon. We'll keep you posted.
Details to come.
Find them online, goldenhearttattoos.com, or give them a call at 234-706-2982 and ask them, where the hell are you located right now? Because we're trying to figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
But they will tell you wherever they are for an appointment, whether it be Norton, whether it be where the hell wherever they're going to be. But experience your own.
No spoiler alerts.
That's right. Your own magic. There you have it, gentlemen.
What?
We've experienced it. We've given enough love, I think, for an entire episode here.
Some say too much.
Yeah,
that's why I came in late. It's all about as much love as I can give.
Yeah.
I'm spent. I give you about a third, half at best.
Yes, certainly more than we've been able to provide our lovely ladies in any single amount of time in quite a while. You know,
we didn't even need a blue pill for this one.
No, absolutely not. So, Nick, you want to take us out, please, sir? In a lovely way.
I would love to, because I love you guys, and I love you, our 3.5 listeners. I love you all so very much that I would love for you to come and find us on your favorite social media accounts. You can find links to each and every one of them on our Linktree. Go to Google, type in Convincing Idiots, Linktree, LINKTREE. You can also find that on our website, convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So, for this ever so special and romantic episode of Convincing Idiots, I am Millennial Nick.
I'm the lovely Zennial Dean.
Loving Gen X Brian.
We all do.
Have we tantalized your senses and enticed you to join us for another romantic episode of Convincing Idiots? Happy Valentine's Day.
Did you just see that shit? If you liked what you saw, like and subscribe. Come back. You're going to want to.
Ham gravy.
You have 1 minute.
5,
that's about all I
4,
got.
3.
This week on Convincing Idiots, good thing you stopped by, because we talk about Madam Web. We talk about the couples, our favorite fictional couples. We get into asking, convincing. God damn it!
Yeah, couldn't fucking do it. 60 seconds. Do it.
1 minute. One fucking minute.
No,
1 minute.
stop. I'm not gonna make it.
No. All right.
I'm gonna send you a
You
link.
could have made
Yep.
it, but you didn't. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
I got too excited and shot my. All right.